Don't replace a seal. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you change the fluids, all of them. Get the car running, including, radiator and everything, and then see what happens.
She wants a smokin' diamond, one that shines like no other.
And he wants the smokin'est deal in Colorado. This is
That's what we've been talking about, right?
Yeah, but how biased is the article?
Well, some kinds of health. So I'm not sure it should be biased. I'm going to go read.
Carat diamonds from just $25.95.
Gorgeous 1 carat from just $49.95.
2 carat diamonds from an amazing $99.95.
And here's the best part. Spend just $6,500 or more and receive America's finest smoker, the Traeger smoker, as our gift.
Like I said, Smokin' Williams Jewelers Smokin' Diamond Event. 6 big days only, Monday, October 11th through Saturday, October 16th.
I don't think
No one sells a more beautiful diamond for less. That's the Williams Diamond Guarantee.
And right now, the Traeger smoker is free.
No, but the problem is, he's going to split the party. That's what people
I know he's going to assure people that we'll never have another Republican president.
As long as he's around.
Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music.
But let me ask you theoretically. What if he wins every primary? Well, you think he'll still split the Republican Party? Let's say theoretically.
I don't know.
If he runs and he
I don't know. I don't know.
I think that would be an interesting case.
But the president says a deeper dive into the numbers shows progress.
The unemployment report shows almost 200,000 jobs were created.
So this guy is so monotone.
In the private sector.
He has no.
But I don't think he really realizes what he's saying.
I don't either. I really think he has the early onset dementia.
The president says the figures also going to show the decline in COVID.
And he repeats himself. He goes off on tangents.
will meet October 26th to review the data from Pfizer to decide whether to authorize emergency use of the company's COVID shot for 5 to 11-year-olds. The House will vote on the temporary measure to raise the debt ceiling next week. That after the Senate passed the bill to fund the government through December. This is ABC News. In Afghanistan today, a suicide bombing at a Muslim house of worship. At least 50 people killed, more than 100 wounded in an explosion during prayers at a Shia mosque in the city of Kunduz. ISIS-K claiming responsibility. That's the group behind the explosion killing 13 U.S. service members at Kabul airport in August. The deadly attack coming as the U.S. and Pakistan hold difficult talks about the path forward in Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. There's been a deadly shooting at a senior living facility in Maryland. At least 2 people killed today at Gateway Village in Capitol Heights. A senior living there says the alleged gunman is a fellow resident and his friend, whom he described as fed up.
I don't know the way they treat the seniors in Gateway Village.
So why do you shoot a fellow resident?
This year's Nobel Peace Prize goes to 2 journalists, Maria Ressa and Dmitry Muratov, recognized for efforts to safeguard freedom of the press and protect against abuse of power. The winner chosen out of 329 candidates. Dave Packer, ABC News. At CDW, we get the right network makes remote locations seem less remote.
Great, because the data is lagging out here.
CDW can orchestrate the Aruba Edge Services platform, bringing computing closer to where data is created. It automates, unifies, and secures the edge, fixing problems before they impact your business, giving your network a sixth sense. Someone at the door?
Just a moose. He works here.
Aruba and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Aruba.
When a nasty cold keeps you up all night, Vicks NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief from your worst cold and flu symptoms, which changes a night that sounds like this into a night that sounds more like this. That's better. NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, sore throat, stuffy head, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use this direct.
K-How News Time, 103. Douglas County's new health department decides today whether to allow parents to exempt their kids from the school district's mask mandate. Last month, Douglas County Commissioners voted to leave Tri-County Health after 55 years, and the new board will control its own public health policy. That includes anything to do with COVID-19. Today marks 1 week since the COVID vaccine mandate deadline for all Denver City and County employees. Executive Director of Denver Health, Bob McDonald, talked about what happens to those who have yet to be vaccinated or have not filed for an exemption.
Now supervisors will meet with their staff members that did not comply. First of all, make sure that they understand what needs to be done. They'll give an opportunity one last time to comply, and if they don't, then we'll proceed forward following the disciplinary measures that are set forth.
McDonald said they're at 99% compliance. Hopefully that with further discussions, they'll get to 100%. Anglers getting another crack at some fishing areas were closed due to low water levels. Parks and Wildlife lifted a fishing ban along the Elk River and at several places on the Yampa River. Low water and warm temperatures threaten to damage fish in both rivers. That's the latest. I'm Chuck Clark. Now, impact traffic
From the DuckDuckGo Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Great day. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in that damn wire.
What are you doing for the weekend? Anything exciting?
I-25 also sluggish in both directions heading east to Channel. Slowing on I-70 between I-25 and 225. And there's crash on southbound Pinion before Green Valley.
I don't either. It's all junk.
Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly to mostly cloudy this afternoon.
Somebody else's.
We'll cool off to about 50 overnight. Partly cloudy.
They're saying they don't know.
Saturday,
The article said they don't know.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is anybody who says that they know definitively needs to come up with some data to prove it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean then, okay, make him get a vaccine.
No. All I'm saying is if you can't discern a difference between natural, post-infection immunity and vaccine immunity, then you can't make any comments about it until you have the data to back up on your side. That's all I'm saying.
With a team that actively searches out the market for the very best deals and then negotiates an even better deal. This is not just a job or a career to me. This is my passion. Frank Duran with Remax Alliance. 26 years of proven credibility. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622.
In 2011, 3 siblings went on an 8-day, 15-state AK-47 wielded crime spree. Introducing the Doherty Gang Podcast. This is the true story of one family's cross-country criminal rampage.
Police in Trio have a stockpile of weapons. At least one of them has made it clear he's not afraid to die.
Listen to the Doherty Gang. That's
Spectacularizing that job.
iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. It's brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
Afternoons 2 to 4. It's Leland Conway.
If that $3.5 trillion spending bill passes, how's that going to affect your tax bill at the end of the year? Plus, some people want to micromanage your kid's recess at school. We'll discuss it on Friday, 6:30 K-House.
So Tom, did you watch that movie, The Squid Game?
I'm watching it.
What's it all about?
Did I watch it? I hate it. It's a series. It's not a movie.
What?
Did it work? Turn it on?
It's stupid. I don't like it, so I mean, I stopped watching it. It really is stupid.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Tom and the promo code 30% off if you're looking for quality CBD products I personally use. Hey, Jack, what's going on with you? You have a comment on COVID. We love having open and honest discussions on everything. COVID, the vaccine mandates for airlines, whatever. Go ahead, Jack. What's happening?
Hey, Tom. Hey, Mark. 2 comments. One on the natural immunity thing. I donate my blood every 2 months, and they can tell me if I have COVID antibodies, so that's one way to do it, and that's kind of one of the baffling things to me why I need a vaccine.
Yeah, but they're not. But still, with a mandate, they are not counting natural immunity as effective. They are saying you still need to get it.
Right. That's what I don't understand. But you and Mark, I think Mark had said, how do you prove it? Otherwise, everyone would say they've got natural immunity.
Well, no, you can even with a blood test though. Even when you can show with a blood test, it does not say that you are immune to the extent of a vaccine. That has been the argument. Many people who have had the virus have sued to get around the mandate, and the courts have said, you know, we can't hear it, or they're not going to make a decision because there's no scientific definitive proof yet on if natural antibodies are as good as vaccines. And listen, I don't know where I stand either on it. Everywhere you turn, you get something different. One thing I do know is that the unvaccinated and vaccinated can both equally infect you. So I don't get...
Well, that's kind of what segues into my next point, which is, you know, all the chatter about unvaccinated people causing variants. Well, if vaccinated people can spread and carry the virus, what's to prevent vaccinated people from also creating a variant?
That's what right? Not one person has yet been able to answer that, and I've been asking everyone. Not one person. And I'm not doing it as a challenge. I'm saying help me understand it. If both vaccinated and unvaccinated can infect people, then how does being vaccinated protect the vaccinated?
I would say, you know, we just read that article from the Kaiser Health Foundation about natural versus vaccine immunity.
There's no definitive
and there
answer.
was no answer. So I was telling Tom, if anybody wants to say one is better than the other, they need to show us some data to back up their assertion.
Yeah, that would be fine. Kathy, what's going on in your life, Kathy?
Oh, I'm having a little trouble with my car, Tom.
Now, was it a new car when you bought it?
Yes, sir.
And when did you buy it?
Well, I ordered it January the 3rd. I ended up getting it May the 21st.
Because that's what counts. The Lemon Law, if you're inquiring about it, only counts for the first year of ownership or the warranty period, whichever is less. And it's usually the first year of ownership. Now, what kind of new car?
I bought a Tahoe diesel.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even know they still made them. They really do. A Chevy Tahoe diesel?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. What kind of diesel engine?
It's a 3.0.
And is it a Cummins or is it a Duramax?
Duramax.
Oh, you know, listen, I have never heard... Did you know, I don't know, Kevin, did you know they still make them? This was a 2022?
The 2021.
2021.
Yeah, they're starting to make smaller because it's a 4 and a 6-cylinder diesel they're using now.
So, anyway, what's the problem?
Well, when I got the car, the engine light kept coming on. It wasn't blinking. It would just come on solid. So I took it back in. And I said, the engine light keeps coming on. They said it's the sensor.
And you got it in June, right? You got it in June.
I got it May 21st.
Oh, May. Okay. So that's going to be the magic number. You got to do something before May 2021. But the engine light, okay, they weren't able to fix it?
Well, they said it was the sensors, the temperature sensors, so they replaced the temperature sensors. Well, then it happened again and again and again. And they'd have it for a couple of weeks here and a week there and a few days here and a few days
well,
there.
did you lose, hold on, did you lose 30 days cumulatively use of that vehicle?
Well, right now I'm at 15 because it's in Seattle, broken down, and I can't even get it back.
Well, you got to you have to keep track of that.
I know.
Now, did you buy it in Colorado?
Yes, I did.
Is it registered here?
Yes.
Then you need to file here. And are you sure that's your last resort? They won't do anything for you?
Well, they're trying. They're putting in a engine harness right now, and they're hoping that fixes the problem.
Why would an engine harness? What the hell is that? What is that?
Something to do with the electrical system.
The wiring harness. Yeah. Okay. So, then what?
So,
you have a little while to figure it out, but you can't let it go beyond a year.
Oh, I'm not going to. Because here I am paying for a vehicle I can't even drive.
When you get at 30 days, you can ask for a replacement. Now, it's not automatic, you know.
Oh, I know, it's not.
The Lemon Law is an affirmative action, meaning it's your evidence. If you lost use of it for 30 days, you don't have to prove anything. Or if they can't fix it on the 4th time,
okay,
then you have a legally defined lemon. So what you do is you contact the manufacturer saying, under the lemon law, you want a new vehicle or you want a buyback.
Okay.
Now, if you need an attorney, there are attorneys that do lemon law. You're not there yet.
Okay.
How do you feel about the dealer? Who's the dealer now?
Well, I kind of like the dealer, actually. I mean, they've been really nice and trying really hard.
Who's
to
the
get
dealer?
it fixed.
Who's the dealer?
It's Johnson.
Okay. Here's what I would do. And then I would give it up if they can't do it. Purefoy Chevrolet.
Okay.
It's in Fort Lupton. If they can't fix it, they know those trucks. They know those trucks, and they have connections at Chevrolet. That's where I would go. Purefoy Chevrolet.
Well, my issue right now is being able to at least get it back from Seattle. I went up there because my brother had passed away, so I went up to, and because I have another brother who went with me who was on oxygen, so he couldn't fly, so I drove up there, and now it's stuck up there, and we had to rent a car to come back.
Stuck up there how? It won't run at all?
Well, I was afraid to drive it home because it started missing on me because of the DEF wasn't mixing in with the fuel the way it was supposed to.
What do you think that is, Kevin?
It sounds like they don't know, so that's a tough one. They're trying to figure it all out. These things, when they're this new, they have to, they identify problems one at a time and solve them over a period of time.
So this engine, this 3.0 Duramax, is new.
Fairly new, I think, in the last 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really new.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good
Kathy,
setup. Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man, unless you can hire somebody, a friend, to go up and get it. You gotta get it back here. I mean, or go to a dealer up there, but you know.
A dealer has it up there and is trying to fix it.
And they're doing the harness. Do you think do they sound like they know what they're doing?
I don't know.
Let's take it one step at a time. When do they?
Chevy themselves.
When do they say it'll be done?
Well, they're putting the harness on right now. They said that it takes 8 hours to.
What did you plan on doing? Did you plan on flying up there to get it?
No, my plan is my brother-in-law will drive it to Boise, and then I'll pick it up in Boise.
All right. Would you let us know? Listen, I'm serious. The only thing you can do is give them this chance. What number will this be, this chance? How many?
Oh, this is like 10.
10?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, then you already have a lemon. You already have a lemon. So when you get it, call us. We'll help you with the lemon law. 303-713-8255. More.
They ding you for miles on the lemon still? Didn't they used to do that?
Yeah, but it's with a buyback, they just appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, it's 1,300 miles one way to Seattle.
Yeah, but I don't have how long.
No, that's a lot of mileage.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, 13 there and 13 back.
Yeah.
Call 720-488-8604. That's 720-488-8604. Or online.
That's one big reason I never like the newer technology.
Oh, really?
Let's talk about criminal defense. Of course,
my listeners say, Tom, I won't need an attorney, and most likely you won't. Here's the bottom line. If you are ever in trouble, a DUI it could be, a serious traffic offense, maybe even an argument, not a fight, even an argument with a neighbor can turn into an assault charge. Well, listen, life is not perfect. When things go awry and you need someone like a criminal defense attorney, Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200. Joe has been with me for many, many years. He will give you a tenacious defense. And as I said, put the name away in case you ever need him or have to refer him. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. And, of course, you can always find him at referralist.com.
I'm going to tell you about an
unbelievable deal going on right now. In fact,
you're going to think it's too good to be true, but it's not. 888heating.com is offering the following. You get a new air conditioner, a new furnace, a whole home humidifier, and 5 years no interest, all starting at $8,500. Other people sell just the AC unit for that. You have to check.
We used to joke about a lot of newer cars. Research and development doesn't end until 2 years after the first model. You know, like Microsoft.
That's why they say never buy a new car, a new model, until it's used. So I just bought either Hyundai or Subaru for the last 10 years, and no problems. You know, I'm not a car guy, so once my Outback gets me from point A to point B, it's a reliable car, and I can't see spending $80,000 or $100,000 for a car. Just does nothing to me.
Ruby's story isn't unique. 99 out of 100
Because I'm more comfortable with a truck.
on market for more
But, you know, I use it for work too. So,
Right, but you're not going out and buying a $75,000, you know, $80,000 car just because it's a cool thing to do.
If you're thinking about selling, or just curious what Orchard would pay for your home, get a no-cost, no-obligation offer at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Did you know that you can find home buying, selling, and financing services all under one roof? It's true. It really is possible to work with a one-stop shop for all of your home ownership needs. You've just got to call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans. Hey, it's Ross, and I love American Financing.
you know, go to some of the dealerships, waiting on the parts department or something, you know, just kind of walking through the show.
And you have guidance every step.
Some of the prices.
85 grand for, you know, an F-150.
From competitive rates to down payment assistance.
Although, but if you need a truck, you need a truck.
Yeah.
So what can you do? Are there, I mean, is Toyota better than Ford or Ford better than Chevy? Or
There's
Dodge?
preferences and there's different
You know,
platforms, you know.
the airlines are such a pain in the ass that Stephanie and I are really considering now on regional trips taking the helicopter. It's like a fast road trip.
Yeah.
What's the range on it?
You take steps to stay
Well, longer than our range, but 600 miles.
Okay. So you can go to 600 miles, right?
Yeah, and then land for fuel.
Right. The only problem with that is weather on the way back.
Yeah, but helicopters, I've almost never been grounded because with a helicopter, you're not flying straight ahead at a certain speed into clouds. I mean, I can fly. I mean, listen, the fucking fog's to the ground. I can fly over a highway. I can do anything I want, and it's legal.
And VFR, visual flight rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very few helicopters are IFR.
Except the ones that killed.
All the rescue ones are. But you know, to be an IFR helicopter, you have to have an autopilot. Those motherfuckers are $250,000. In a helicopter, you don't get an autopilot for a few grand. I mean, because that think of what it's doing.
Oh yeah.
Oh my! It can hover. I can't even imagine those fucking servos hovering a helicopter. But they do, man. Rock solid.
So do you think? Let me ask you a question. Do you think your eye-hand coordination with Big Drummer helped you be able to fly a helicopter easier than some others might?
No, I don't know. I don't know. No, I never even thought of it. Video game players, Griffin really caught on to that.
No, but he's a kid.
Yes, on Amendment 78, paid for by Colorado Rising State Action.
This report is sponsored by Glenwood Springs.
Temperatures will be 79 today in Denver with a 10% chance of rain will stay in the mid-30s on
Better
Saturday.
be nice tomorrow.
75.
Yeah.
In Glenwood Springs, just because summer has come to an end doesn't mean the adventures have. So come visit Glenwood this fall, while the incredible colors of autumn are a treat for your eyes. Their hot springs are a treat for the rest of your body.
But 66 and sunny in Destin is very cool.
Especially if you're moving.
Oh yeah.
And walking and stuff, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I can't walk anymore.
Oh, so right?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Sonia, what is she back about with the 92 diesel? Wow. What did you need to know about your 92 diesel? We said you should zero time it, Sonia, and what that means is you take out all the fluids and change them, the filters and hoses if you can. Maybe you don't need those, but man, if you do that, wash that engine off and watch for leaks, then change seals as you need them, that truck could go a lot more.
Okay, it's not leaking now. And the other thing, I have, it has like bells and whistles that have been added, like oil. It's called an oil preparator.
No, you don't mean an oil preparator, an oil separator. What?
No, it's an oil. It's a toggle switch that when you pull on it before you start the engine. It pumps oil into the engine.
Okay, yeah, it's a pre-oiler. It's a pre-oiler because yeah. Anyway, what about it?
Whatever it is.
And it's got a little pump, and it's electric. You turn it on. You turn that on. It pre-lubes the engine. What about it?
Well, you said I could see that before I turned the truck on. I could see the oil going up, and here when I pulled the toggle switch. I could hear it pumping.
Yeah.
Now I can just hear it pumping, but I don't see the oil.
Well, that's why. I'll tell you why. Because it lost prime. It's been sitting a year and probably lost prime, Kevin. What do you think?
Yeah, any pump like that, you may need to reprime it.
See, Sonia, what's your adversity to just dropping by a mechanic to help you get it up and running? It's worth it.
Oh, well, that's why I called back. I want to get it up and running. That's my whole deal. I don't have a lot of money, and my dad said if it goes down, everybody wants that first generation engine, and he says if something goes wrong with the engine, you can't even give the truck away. That's what his point is. Sell it now, while it's still worth a lot of money, and.
So what are you asking me? What is I guess formulate your question for us. What's your question?
My question is who is a good person, a good, honest? Tell me I need a whole bunch of crap.
Okay, where are you? Where are you located?
In Golden.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah, we can look at it and evaluate it for you. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I think that Kevin knows enough. Kevin knows enough to look at this.
Okay, but I'm sure they don't make house calls.
Well, of course not. Is that what you're asking?
At the moment, it doesn't have brakes because my brakes are black.
Sonia, you're asking the impossible. I mean, you want someone to come to your house? And, okay, SOS inspections. SOS inspections will do diagnostics for you. SOS inspections. You can find them at usedcarcheckout.com. You tell him you want him to go through it and tell you what you need and see what it costs. He'll come to you. He will come to you. Usedcarcheckout.com. Karen, what is your COVID comment, Karen?
Well, you keep asking about our preferences and
yeah, I really want to know them, Karen. Yes.
Okay, so here's somewhat of a story, but it's a real one.
Okay.
My brother lives in Alaska. And he works with 9 other people. 6 of them got the COVID shot. He had COVID in February and did not get a shot, and the other 2 did not get shots. The other 3 did not get shots. They recently all got COVID except for my brother. The ones who got the shots had it harder and longer than the other ones that did not have the shot.
I believe you. I've heard that before, and I think it all boils down to guess what? What do you think I'm going to say? The individual and their immune system.
Well, and yeah, that could be too.
And why do we de-emphasize that? Why do we de-emphasize it? Why? Why does Fauci never mention it? Why do our doctors never mention wellness? Why is it? Why?
Well, personally, I think our government's trying to control us.
Well, I think they are too. I'd like to believe they're not, but I think they are. Bill, go ahead. What do you think? Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Tom, love your show. Thanks for taking on this topic. My daughter's a school teacher. She's going to be put on unpaid leave probably in a week. She was granted, along with a bunch of other teachers, religious exemptions. and with accommodations, they were willing to make the accommodations like masks or whatever. And then they were told, this is not going to work. You're going to be put on unpaid leave, which is basically you're sent to purgatory.
Right.
Because you can either be a custodian at night or whatever. And then they're also restricting anybody else writing a letter of recommendation if they want to look for another job. If they look for another job, then they're screwed. I mean, they're being put in jail.
They're being they're being canceled. That's what's happening.
They're being canceled, exactly. And this whole.
Do you remember in Russia? Do you remember in Russia when people did not go along with the communist regime? Do you remember what they used to call them? There was a Russian name for it, but it meant non-person.
Yeah.
That's a true thing. In my Russian studies, I studied in Russia non-persons. They were literally called non-persons. And I'm sure the Russian name, people will remember.
The other frustrating part is, from American frontline doctors or whatever.
Or former people, whatever.
This is not a true vaccine in the sense of vaccines. I mean, they're messing with the mRNA and the DNA, and it reduces symptoms, right? But it doesn't prevent you from getting from COVID.
It's a vaccine. By definition, it's a vaccine. You may not agree with the efficacy or whether or not you want to take it or whether or not you agree with the mandate, but it is a vaccine.
Yeah. This thing about not calling it a vaccine or vaccine, what difference does it make?
It's a shot. I mean, Doc, I have a question. Isn't a vaccine, aren't you given a piece of the virus?
There is no definition that says.
A vaccine is something that's used to prevent infection, usually by a virus. It has nothing to do with how it.
The mechanism. Listen, I'm not. Listen, Bill. I mostly agree with what you're saying. The mechanism of action is not what defines a vaccine.
Thank you.
It's the purpose of it, which is to prevent infection. That is considered a vaccine.
And to start the.
I mean, I don't see what difference that makes. Actually, I don't see what difference. People make a big deal about that. Don't call it a vaccine. It's not a vaccine. Well, of course it is. It's a vaccine. Okay, it may not be a conventional vaccine, just like there are. But it is a vaccine. It doesn't work in the same mechanism as previous vaccines. And I personally don't think we should have a mandate. I think it sucks. I just can't believe. I can't believe where our country is going.
It's a vaccine that's going to last 6 months, and you have to get a booster. And then after that runs out, you have to get another booster, and you got to get boosted every 6 months.
I think they're going to say after the booster every year.
Bill, if you have to get it done every week, it's still a vaccine. It may be a short-term vaccine,
that's fine.
But it's a vaccine.
And by the way, I don't like the idea of having to do it. I think we're going to get this thing under control, and it's going to go away, but we'll see. Our government...
But if you're vaccinated, why do you worry about unvaccinated?
That's exactly right. Why? I don't understand.
Why are vaccinated people still wearing masks?
I don't know, Bill. I asked the same question. I also asked this. If both vaccinated, and not one person will address this question. It's been said that both vaccinated and unvaccinated can spread the virus. So where is the protection?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, why can't they answer it? Why can't they answer it? Paul, go ahead. What's going on with you, Paul?
Yeah, Tom. I'm kind of confused here about this one thing. The vaccine, the government wants to get involved in the vaccines, and people are against it, and I understand that. But yet, in Texas, they're passing laws saying a 14-year-old girl that gets raped by some maniac has to have the baby, and the guy that rapes her gets to visit the baby. I don't understand you don't want the government involved in vaccines, but you want government involved telling a 14-year-old girl under no circumstances can she have an abortion. She has to deliver that baby, even if it's got AIDS or who knows what.
Paul,
is that right?
Paul, you bring up what I call all the time contradictions, and there are contradictions. Just like those who want a vax mandate, they say you shouldn't have freedom over your body, but with an abortion you should. And then others say what you're saying. If you want the government out of the vaccine business, get them out of the abortion business. By the way, I'm for government being out of all of that business.
I'm with you on that.
Of all
Thank
of
you,
it,
sir.
all of it.
Thank you.
But at least,
I'm with you
Paul,
on everything.
I understand why you seek a conflict there. I understand a contradiction completely. I understand it.
Thank you, sir.
Talk station. He does. He brings that out.
Hey, does.
Cleveland Conway and 2, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Now, I don't have any control over mine too. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I can't touch it.
Sponsored by American Financing.
It's locked. I can't close it. I can't shut it off.
On the internet, there's so much information, both good and bad, that most people can't
Try it.
can't separate the truth and the fiction. You know, they're inundated with all this information, and it's very hard to separate.
It's the influencer, the people who want to be relevant. They just, they just keep regurgitating stuff, whether it's true or not. They don't know if it's true.
Right. Can you imagine that's your job? You're an influencer. And what kind of?
It's 77 right now in Denver.
My phone completely stopped working.
I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Refinance your mortgage and save on
Tom, you can cancel
without restarting the internet. It only takes
My
5
phone's
minutes to
completely
restart when you choose American Financing. 303-695-7000.
It's lit up, it just doesn't work.
AmericanFinancing.net and NMLS 18234, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Do they reset?
BlakeHarrisLaw.com is there to help you with estate planning with free answers to your questions.
I've known Blake Harris now for a few years, and he's done a stellar job helping people when it comes to your questions on estate planning. Whether you need a simple will, maybe you want a trust, maybe you need something more, maybe you need a combination thereof. Do you know it protects you from lawsuits? It protects your assets while you're alive and even after you pass them on. 833-ASK-BLAKE. Please call him just to get started. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Hey, it's Marty Lenz, and if you're thinking of selling your home, I know you have a lot of questions.
I pick up this phone and I can't press it. No buttons do anything. I can't bring a. So you have to help me bring up calls. I'll tell you which one I want on the call screener here.
Zero commission program where the buyer pays all of the commission, saving the seller thousands of dollars, and guaranteed to sell your home at 100% of your list price, or they will pay you the difference. This is how Gay and Sarah are getting their sellers top dollar every single day. You need to sell your home, but not sure if you can find a new home to buy. The River Group has exclusive listings you won't find anywhere else. Why just choose any agent when you can work with the very best? When you meet with Gay and Sarah, make sure you tell them that Marty, referred you.
Do you know what happened with Urban Meyer? What they call him, the strip bar or something?
I don't know.
He had somebody lap dancing on him.
Who is it?
He's the head coach of
Jacksonville
Jags.
Okay, the Jags, right.
He's a big college coach.
So is that? I mean, I don't care.
You know, he's a married guy in a bar. You know, 20-something. I love somebody cares.
The only one in the world who should care are his wife and kids.
Well, they do care.
Right, so that's okay.
But he's also on thin ice with the owner of the team, and the owner of the team's making a deal out of it to use a clause probably to get rid of him. So
that's the morals clause.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about those 18 NBA players?
What happened?
There's 18 or 19, 19 former NBA players who got caught in a sting. They were falsifying dental records. They were claiming they got all sorts of root canals, caps
to get money.
Falsely. And there was one reason they got caught was two of them.
Why they had dental coverage or something?
Yeah, through the NBA. Two of them submitted.
They're that hurting that they fucking put money in.
Two of them submitted claims on a day when they were playing in Taiwan.
And how much does it come to?
It was $20 million.
No, $4 million.
$4 million. It was a bunch.
So one person could get what? 30, 40 grand?
$40,000. But they did on a day when they were proven to be in Taiwan.
Are they going to be arrested?
They have been.
We're not talking about Einstein.
Mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos.
But you don't do it on a day when you can prove that you were halfway around the world.
That's right. We have no
You gotta have some.
Was it made, the one guy, Glenn Baby Davis, they were showing him as 50 million or something in lifetime earnings.
Right.
Why does he make 30 grand?
Your mortgage rate APR is not in the
You
twos.
can't take care of
Cash Call
50. What are
Mortgage
you
can
going
lower
to
your
do?
interest rate and save you some cash. What are you waiting for? With low rates and no closing cost options, now is the time to refinance your mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800.
You know, it's interesting. You never hear about golfers
That's
going
800
bankrupt.
748 1607.
There was a deal with, who's lefty?
Bill Dixon?
Nicholson, he had a deal going with a.
Well, he had gambling debts.
Yes.
But he never declared bankruptcy.
No, he just came back and won the Masters.
Right, and John Daly. So you know what happened? Callaway stepped in. I forget his first name. And said, you switch to Callaway products, we'll pay your gambling debt. And that's why he switched.
Fairway Auto Service invites you to experience honest auto repair.
Person I switched to TaylorMade, and no one paid me. I don't understand.
Customer satisfaction.
They pay me to not use their clubs. They don't want somebody seeing me taking a swing with them.
Do you have my old open? Because I may want to use it on Monday. This guy's a fucking asshole, if you know what I mean. Suze? Can you hear me, Suze, or you're not? Okay. You're looking at me like you don't know what I'm saying.
What's going on?
Offering top-notch prenatal
With your intro music?
While you're planning a family and when you finally have one, we're here to help. Kaiser Permanente. Tomorrow's healthcare today. Learn more at kp.org/thrive.
It's the Dan Kaplan Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Our arrogant elitist governor has reached a new low. Publicly mocking his dining
Nice country club with golf carts.
vaccine.
Yeah, see high school, right? College. Every night with caddy match.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So did you get good?
Yeah.
Did you get it? So are you giving it up now?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255, here to help you solve problems, to answer questions, and to take complaints, make your life just a little easier. So, Ralph, what's on your mind? Talk to us.
This talk about COVID, isn't everybody pissed off about this research center in Wuhan? Why is that building still standing?
I don't know. And why is Fauci, who we know funded the research on whatever they call that, it's some kind of enhancement, but anyway, why is he still around? Why?
Exactly.
These are the things that piss people off, Ralph. Gina, go ahead. And I hope you guys appreciate, I swear to God, I'm not trying to change your opinions. You can call with any opinion. I want to hear opinions. I want to be educated. I think it's time we all just talk about crap, right? Gina, what about you?
Hey, Tom, thanks for taking my call. I just want to say I am a nurse. I am not vaccinated. I am against the vaccine for a number of reasons. But one thing I wanted to say that I think is so important and is being just glossed over is that these medications are still emergency use authorization. The one that was passed, the Comirnaty, is not available in the United States. So people are being forced by their employers, whatever the mandates, to take these emergency use authorization medications, and that is illegal. And I don't understand why no one is, that goes against the Nuremberg Code of Ethics. I don't understand why nobody is talking about that.
All right. Here's the thing. I don't have an explanation for it. They are guilt-tripping people. In fact, some of these parents are being called domestic terrorists. Now, that's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I agree with you. Ken, you have a car problem here, and Kevin Calkin is listening. What's going on with your Saturn?
It cranks over, but it won't start.
Well, that's either what, as they say, Kevin, it's either spark, gas, or air, right?
Right, but it'll start for about 3 seconds with starting fluid.
Okay. So, Ken, have you had it looked at all?
No.
Okay.
I can't take it anymore.
It just cranks, basically.
Yeah, I've done a little research. Think it might be a key or possibly a gas cap.
No. Key?
Well, the key...
Not if it's cranking.
Not if it's cranking, yeah.
If it's cranking, it's cranking.
It's got a chip key.
Oh,
sure.
Well, but a chip key wouldn't let it crank.
No, it'd bypass that, yeah.
So if it's cranking, it's not getting air, it's not getting spark, or it's not getting fuel.
Yeah.
One of those three.
Pull one of the plug wires off and try to jump it across, see if you get spark.
One of those.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's all we can tell you, man, without him looking at it, but he's happy to look at it for you. But you can't get it there. That sucks, man. How do you get cars to your shop when they can't get it there? I mean, do you have a tow truck that they...
Yeah, tow truck, yeah. Yeah, we use them all the time.
You know, Ken, you can join AAA at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then you can call them at 9:10 and have AAA come out and take care of your car.
Wow. Did you hear that, Ken? Wow. Josh, what is your comment? Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment. Obviously, first, the last nurse that just came on is uneducated on the fact that the Pfizer vaccine is fully approved. I also think people need to know that there's numbers of reasons vaccines don't work. From the minute that vaccine leaves the factory, there's cold chain issues, there's storage issues, there's issue around injection site technique and other issues. And so people need to be aware of that. And the thing in LA is scary and what they're doing and what they're forcing us to do, but I don't think people really truly understand vaccines when they come on your show and
so what is your message?
You know, my message is I believe vaccines are personal choice.
Okay.
I think where we are in this country is very, very scary. The new LA law, the government says we want you to do this. Oh, now you're not going to do it, but you need to be forced. But my message is also people need to be educated when they come on the radio. I'm glad Doc called on that guy and said it is a vaccine. And vaccines work whether you like them or not. If you don't want to take one, don't take it.
Okay.
But realize the reason vaccines work is because we do it to protect the society. We do it for the mom who has breast cancer. We do it for the kids.
They probably do work.
Leukemia.
They probably do work. The question is, do they cause more harm than good? And that's what people have to weigh for themselves. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, we have so many unreported cases or adverse cases. Others say we don't.
Well, people don't know how to read VAERS, which is the Vaccine Information Database. People also don't know how to read clinical trials.
But so many people aren't even but the vaccine database, as I understand it, I was told that half of them aren't being reported because doctors aren't reporting them.
Well, so VAERS, which is the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting Date, is you don't have to report it. It's not required.
Right. Well, actually, it is required under it actually is required under emergency authorization. It's not required.
It might be under emergency authorization. You're right.
But it's not required under regular authorization. Is it now? Right. Is Pfizer regular authorization right now?
Pfizer is fully approved in the U.S.
So therefore, there's no more. You don't have to report. You don't have to report adverse reactions. Listen, I truly believe. Listen, I got vaccinated. I don't want to mandate. But I think both sides exaggerate. That's the problem. I mean, they do. And what do you think about the fact that a vaccinated person, or non-vaccinated, they both can carry the viral load to someone else?
Well, I think that, a vaccine doesn't really keep you from getting a disease. It trains your immune system to respond to it. That's what memory is. So just because you're vaccinated might not mean you don't carry the disease. It means you never know. So it doesn't doubt me that people could get COVID after being vaccinated. Their body just responds so quickly and rapidly that they never develop severe symptoms.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate your call.
Now, impact traffic.
If Steve calls, I will try to get him on. If he calls, I told him to call back.
The only free 24/7 over-the-air news network.
An accident on southbound I-25 approaching 84th was quickly cleared out of the way, but still some residual slowing on that stretch from 120th. Now there's a crash on northbound I-25 just
call him. I have his number.
So when you see Bitcoin do what it's doing, do you sell off and wait for the? Or do you just maintain?
Well,
It's tempting, isn't it? When
it's tempting. With my Bitcoin, I probably would not sell it off. I'll probably just hold my Bitcoin, but they're gonna hold on for dear life because it's constantly rising, and when it falls, it always comes back. It always corrects back into a maintenance place.
FixMyHome.com. That's where you go to find this special.
Susan, can you call him?
So with other altcoins, there's a philosophy called buy the dip. There's a philosophy called buy the dip. You watch them drop. If you believe they're going to recorrect or come back, and that's when you increase your. But the idea
I was giving you a weird look.
Is basically I'm just holding.
Because I just want you to know.
I fool around.
I'm just curious because I've talked to a lot of different people about it. Like the one guy, he was on Doge. We saw Dog.
Yeah, Dog coins. Yeah.
But
I wasn't making that connection when you made the comment. I know that's what I was looking
Oh,
at.
I
Like,
said, yes. We have to use the old one.
On Dogecoin at 18 cents. Okay, at 18 cents I went in and bought a bunch. Okay, that puppy went. It was like on the rise.
Elon Musk, if he would have left it alone for just a little bit.
It was rising. It was rising. But then the first time I heard Elon start talking noise, I said, I'm selling half of this shit. Okay, and I did. I sold half of it right there. Boom, and then it dropped, but then it recorrected, and I haven't lost a dime. Okay, I'm just it's just going like this. Sure.
What's that doing?
Slowly rising. Slowly rising.
What's that? 20% little.
My crypto wallet in general, yeah. It's just slowly.
Well, so it goes up in value when the crypto goes up.
The entire wallet does. Yes, you have a lot. It's like you got a lot of little bitty stocks. A lot of stocks that just do this kind of stuff.
It's like a mutual fund of cryptocurrencies.
Yeah. Okay, and you just kind of get in there and you find the right groove for yourself.
But if you about 4 or 5 months ago, it really tanked, and it's been coming up steadily ever since. But if you bought it like a year ago and kept it, you're probably not back to where you were because it took a huge hit about 3 or 4 months ago.
Well, what you're supposed to do, Doc, is you're supposed to watch it.
Okay?
I'm just saying you're supposed to get yourself your tools.
Of course.
You can look at crypto history. You can look at the history of a coin from its inception. Okay.
Yeah.
You can watch it do that. Now, if you see that it's constantly on the rise, and you read the white paper and you recognize some utility in it, okay, then it's generally a good place to be.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, unfortunately, a friend of mine had me buy some about 4 months ago when it was at its high, and now it went down, and now it's coming back up almost to where we bought it from.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying, a couple of months ago, it's at a pretty high point, and then it really took a big hit, and it's taken a while to get back up to where it was.
Well, like I said, with the doggy coin, I got in on it at about 18 cents. Okay. I'm just fooling with it. Okay, I said, okay. And I heard a little noise, a couple of different places, and I'm like, okay.
Well, you tripled your and got out.
Yeah. Well, I tripled and got out.
Yeah.
But no, I tripled. Got rid of some of it, and now it's back up.
It's coming, definitely.
It is literally back up to where I sold off at again.
Yeah, if you had bought that 2 months ago, you'd be in great shape. Because 2 months ago it was really low, and now it's way up again.
I did about 3 months ago. I went in and I did the same thing with Ethereum. Okay, I bought the dip on Ethereum when it went down, and it's correcting right back in there. So
What's your feeling about NFTs?
I like the idea. Okay,
Really?
I like the idea of NFT securities. I like the idea of being able to put more than just coins into the blockchain for value. Okay, documents and so on and so forth, pictures and stuff like that. I think some of I agree with you, Doc. Some of that graphic stuff is pure junk, and people are simply buying the hype.
Actually, yeah.
But if you look at the process, and you say the process is going to give me a way to validate this piece of art that I own, okay, by owning it as an NFT. Now, if I own it as an NFT and I walk in your house and I see it on your wall, I can say yours is a fake.
Right.
Okay. Hopefully.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I don't know what that means.
I'll check on that vaccine about the FDA